Now from Hollywood, California, the horror capital of the world, the Boulet Brothers, creatures of the night.
Welcome, dear listeners, and welcome also to the latest episode of the Boulet Brothers, Creatures of the Night. As always, we are your ghost hosts, your queens of darkness, the Boulet Brothers Dragula
and Swantula.
And tonight we are here to discuss the grand finale of the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans Season 2.
Titan versus a Titan.
But before we talk about that, we have to talk about what's next, because the train is just continuing to move down the tracks, isn't it? So the finale was just last night. And next week at this time, our Boulet Brothers Holiday of Horrors special will be out.
Yeah. And maybe we should talk about all of the shit that we dealt with to create that on the next episode of the podcast. Like, truly a BTS of what it means to create like a scripted anthology with a lot of different contributors and some of our, good friends in the industry doing their directing debuts, and just a lot of different actors. It called for a lot of different stuff than I expected, just having done Dragula for years.
Yeah, it was harder, I think, when we did the Halfway to Halloween special. That I felt like had more levity to it, so there was more room to kind of mess up or play with it a little bit, because it was almost like tongue-in-cheek and funny and
silly.
Yeah, and so I felt like a little more freedom with that. It also was being filmed on its own, whereas with this, we were filming this when we had a minute between other things we were filming. I mean, we have filmed so much this year, more than ever before, and I would venture to say, I don't know if there's anybody working in TV that filmed as much as we did this year.
It was crazy. And it's so funny because I went to a doctor's appointment earlier today and he's asked me, oh, it's been a minute. How are you? How have you been? How's your year been? And I started to get into it and I'm listening to myself and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I do that too.
Shut the fuck up. Like, nobody one's going to get it. They're not going to get to the degree that you experience, and they don't care.
No.
And I guess that's okay because everybody's like that.
I remember at the top of this year, and you know what? I just kind of want to bitch a little bit. So hopefully the fans are into listening to me do that. I don't care because I'm doing it. I need to release. It's the finale, and I need to let it go.
Let go and let God.
Here's the thing. Managing the cast reaction as they're filming and getting ready to film, and then when they go home, or how everything turns out for them, it's mentally exhausting. It would be easy if I didn't care, but I do care. Even though I don't go to up to each of them like, hey Priscilla, sorry you went home today, let me shake your hand. I do care, and I monitor everything, and I think about them, and I worry about them, every single one of them. And that starts in January. So when all the networks and everything are still closed down at the beginning of the year, this last January
2025, last year,
it was January 2nd. My ass was in pre-production. Remember? And I was stirring everything up, and everything was going. And it has been just intense hands on the reins for 12 months. For 12 months. And I'm just like, it's so weird to crash out here at the end.
So what are you trying to say when people are emotionally needy, or they're like, oh my God, this is happening to me, and you have no patience for it?
I mean, here's a little bit, yes, right? Because even like if I just and I don't look at it, but if I even hear out of the corner of my eye some little
not hear out of the corner of your eye, that's a good trick. I don't even know what I'm talking
about. There'll be like some little Sigourney twerp that's like, shake me, and I can't. I'm like, that's why I can't look at the internet, because I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah,
you are messing with the wrong bitch. Because I'm crazy enough to be like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out where you live, and I'm going to drive to your house and slap you in the face on your porch.
And then I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going to slap the other cheek.
I'm just like, one day I'm like, I'm going to snap and that's going to happen. And there's going to be some 13-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah, because they're the children.
And they appear in full drag and their parents are like, hi, can we help you? Anyways, yes, I'm just bitching a little bit. It's exhausting. I'm not making any sense, but that's just where we are by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, I feel like a crazy person. Like I definitely feel like I've gotten thrown off the cliff. It happens every year, but this year has been like kind of double, triple intense. And it's like one day, like this morning, I could be fine, and then by the time it's like after dinner, I'm like in a deep depression. I'm like, fighting with demons, like,
it's
trying
weird.
to be happy. It really
It's
is
very
weird. And then the weather changing and the light. I mean, it seems to be dark constantly, which you'd think, we would like that, but not really. Like this is basically my spring, summer coming because we've been toiling in the fucking cave all for 12 months.
Yeah.
And now it's time to go outside. And by the time you get the day started, it's over.
It's true. There's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I should probably spend some time thinking about it so that I can come back and talk about it in ways that make sense to the listeners. But there's some kind of intensity that happens when we're just gripped onto it for 12 months. And then we get to the finale here and it's over.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of not over because there's all this stupid shit in the background. We have like administrative stuff and legal deliveries and stuff that we have to do that's annoying as hell. But, for all intents and purposes, the tension releases. And a lot of people are like, oh, you must feel good. You must be celebrating. You must be excited. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm really not. I don't know how to describe it. But what I will say is, I am so happy with the season. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. And I'm so happy with the way the fans have behaved this year.
Me too.
Because I feel like it's been extraordinary. It's been unusual. And I just feel grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for the cast. They were excellent. I'm grateful for the crew and everyone that worked on the show. I'm grateful for the fans, even the ones that I'd like to slap in the face. Because you know what? They made me wake up a little every day.
And listen, the listeners can't see, but also pointing at myself.
What are you doing?
You're also grateful for...
I'm kidding. Of course, Swan Thula, as always, trying to get the attention when it's least deserved.
Wow. The least deserved?
No,
oh my
I'm
God.
kidding.
Now we're going to
kidding.
fight. Hold on. I got to pause this recording.
I was ready to fight anyways. Not you, but somebody. I need to redirect this miserable energy at somebody.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about just a reminder quick. We were talking about it a little minute ago and I got us off subject, but the Boulet Brothers Holiday of Horror special is coming out on Monday. You all better be there watching it with bells on and then right into the podcast and let us know what you think.
Yeah, very curious and very excited. It was a cool, fun project and something that I feel like we put out into the universe last year. We were like, God, because we love the holidays, period. Like any holiday, we will celebrate it. And I think that's kind of like where our love for the challenge, the Holiday of Horror, sort of came from, because there's a darkness to almost all of them. And as a child, you can really see that darkness and kind of live in it. We kind of lose that as adults, but people like us are here to remind you how terrible and how terrifying it can be. So it was really fun to dive into that. We're like, oh, we really want to do another Halfway to Halloween. No. Oh, how about a holiday special? And here it is. We're excited about it.
Yeah. And also just so people know at home, I've said this before, I want to say it again. Don't come to the chimney looking in your stocking for Dragula content, because this is not a Dragula project. This is not a drag project. This is none of that. This is a horror anthology special. It's all about the holidays and Christmas and horror, and that's what it's about. So I'm just telling you now. I don't want to hear it. Where's Sigourney, Mom? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I think they know. Check it out next week. We're really excited about it. Hopefully, we'll get some questions and some feedback from the fans.
Yeah. So should we go on and talk about?
Let's do it.
The finale.
Yeah.
Or should we take a break first?
Let's go ahead and take a break, because once we get going, we won't want to stop.
Once we pull the string.
That's right. We'll be right back. All right, my darlings, we have returned, and it's time to talk about the finale. Now, I'm just going to preface it with this. I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking negative at all. I'm riding high on the fumes of a very positive, bombastic, interactive, kind of boundary pushing season, if I may. Like, that is the way that I took this season. This is one of, if not the best seasons of the show, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna rehash any of like negatives or detractors. I just want to talk about what I loved and appreciated with the finale.
And as the fans expect, I will step in to fill in that negativity that you are withholding. It's yin and yang.
Yeah, totally. It really is. So let's talk about Eva, because Eva, I think, undisputably proved that she is a literal force of nature.
Yeah.
A force of destruction, if you will. From the first episode, and I think we really see it once the finale was really underway, and we do our deliberation and we start doing the flashbacks, and you see all the looks like like sort of everything they've done over this entire season. It's a really impressive package. There's kind of no misses. The one thing that I can maybe pick apart a little bit is the harpy, but even that was very cool.
Yeah, if you compared that, if you put that look on any other season and it wasn't about the prompt, you'd think it was great, more than likely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then it was, the finale package was what I expected, what I wanted, and she delivered. It is what you imagine these things to look like. And maybe there wasn't anything like super groundbreaking, like I've never seen this before, but everything was done to just perfection.
But that's the thing with Eva, right? I don't look to Eva to do everything in a groundbreaking way. I look to Eva to do something in a finished professional way. Like, Eva doesn't miss. Yeah. She just doesn't. And that's the type of winner that emerged from this competition. That's who stepped forward, and that's who answered the prompts, and that's who did what we asked of them. She played the game. She brought great looks. Mm-hmm. She showed a lot of herself. And I appreciated it.
And she continues to evolve, too. Like, the Eva that we saw in the workroom and that little purple workroom in season 3 was very different than someone who was maybe kind of double thinking almost everything in Titans 1 and this iteration of Eva. Like she said, it's the third act, sweetie. Like, it's the final act. She has to win. And she did.
Yeah. I have nothing but praise for Eva, honestly. I respect her a lot as a drag artist. I mean, as far as a working drag artist, she's just, to me, up there with the best. You know, I think of like Landon in that way too. Like, Landon to me is just such a professional and so focused. And it's like, if you're going to do a show or you're going to go on tour or whatever it is, and you're like, I need someone to deliver. Yeah. You call them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think those two, and probably a few more from the pantheon of Dragula, and not all just winners, I would put them in an arena to step to any drag queen on the planet. Like,
absolutely.
They could take them and compete and destroy them.
That's 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't think that doesn't cross my mind. I mean, I literally think of it like we're Skeletor and Evil Lynn in our Snake Mountain, and we're like, who are we going to use to attack He-Man next? Eva Destruction.
Summon Eva.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I want to talk about my feelings about the finale in general. Maybe let's talk about that.
Sure.
I love the season. I thought the season was fantastic. I thought the finale was really good too, as far as the way we did the crowning and we did a little intro, just everything. I feel like, I hope the fans feel the same way I do, that we sort of made this a better version of Titans.
Yeah, and I think they do, specifically about the crowning too. Yeah. Like, I've heard and read feedback about just the sort of giving Victoria her flowers, and how epic and cinematic the whole thing was. And there's no blood for the dead. The blood is only for the living. So
it's like cleansing. It's like you come back to life.
They got it. They really got it.
We rinsed all the dirt and drama off of Eva after her battle through hell, and she comes out pristine as the winner. And I really wanted people to see Victoria in their crown, because I know that people were mad about that on the first Titans, and I was like, Victoria has to be here in her crown. It's almost like a crowning for her too.
Mm-hmm. We almost, but the season just felt like it would have been incorrect, but we almost revealed a portrait of Eva, and then be like, and then showed the real crowning.
Well, remember, we had the idea of going in the same tomb, showing the portrait of Eva, but then busting through it and going to the cemetery and showing the crowning. But anyways, so yeah, I was very happy with the finale overall. However, I do want to add this. I wasn't super wowed by the looks.
Yeah.
For a finale of such a great season, I was a little surprised. I thought the looks that they brought during the season, some of the finalists, the looks that they brought during the season were maybe more elevated than what they brought to the finale.
I definitely
which is
think
very
so,
confusing
too.
because I'm like, you had a month to work on this. And
Yeah.
I'm almost like, I thought that month was going to be like, oh, they're going to come back and blow us away. But that did not happen.
It didn't. Sadly.
No.
Sadly.
I know. I'm not sure why. I don't know if people were just out of steam or what it was. Maybe they used all their tricks to get into the finale, and then I don't know.
Well, look at the way that we're feeling now, right? At the end of a long run and how exhausted you are. And then once we stop, if someone was like, in a month, you're going to get back in.
Right.
That would be a hard transition.
Yeah.
And I think there is such a thing as like just, you can run the marathon, but as soon as you stop running, then you realize how tired you are. And maybe it was something like that.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe keeping them in LA would have kept them not getting back into their life and getting distracted, because you can't really go home and start your life back, but you're probably tempted to, and you want to see people and all this. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I didn't, it wasn't my favorite finale as far as looks go, but definitely as far as the finalists themselves, very happy with them overall. Like,
Me
I
too.
think they're just stellar performers. I can't wait to tour with them. I think it's going to be great.
I'm very excited about this group. I'm very excited to bring them into the live space. And I think, if you enjoy a drag show, if you have or have never been to a Dragula show, I think this tour, the Titans 2 tour, is going to be exceptional. It's going to be exceptional. Ooh. Exceptional.
Miniola? What was it? You're having another Miniola minute.
Exceptional and memorable.
Yeah, me too. I have a feeling it's going to be killer.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Abora, because Abora had some mishaps and a lot of people have been asking and talking about it.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to talk about it a little bit as well. Look, Abora is, as I've said, I mean, we heap praise on him at this point, and
Yeah.
I would continue to do so. I think Abora is such an iconic member of the show, and not winning doesn't change that at all. I think Abora came on the season. People were like, oh my God, Abora again. And then they were like, oh my God, I love Abora. So Abora's story has been completely rewritten. You're welcome, Abora. And I think people see him for the artist that we have always seen him to be.
Finally.
Yeah. And
I
so
think
I'm
so
like,
too.
you kind of won too.
I really hope that's how Abora feels, because in my heart, that is how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like, as far as the pantheon of artists that come out of Dragula, Abora is singular. And we've heaped praises, like you just said, and I will continue to forever. And going back to season 2, like everybody knows, I was singing Abora's praises from the rooftops.
Right.
And we fought about it. I still think that's kind of amazing. And I do think I have to respect the fearlessness and how brave they are to say, you know what, this is the finale. It's kind of all or nothing. I'm going to bet it all. And I'm going to try to bend the rules of the stage, and I'm going to try to show things that no one has ever seen before. And a lot of mishaps did happen, but there's definitely something respectable about an artist who will go to that extreme to just to make something powerful and memorable.
I don't know that I agree with that 100%, because if you can't execute it, if you don't execute it, does it matter? Like,
well,
if
I don't think you
shoot,
go in thinking like, hey, I'm going to do this great thing, but it's not going to work out.
Well, no, but I mean, that's, I don't know. I think that's the chaos of Abora. I would never go into something unless it was extremely rehearsed. I just wouldn't do it. I'd be like, I'd love to do that. It's a great idea, but I don't want to fall on my ass and look foolish,
For sure.
Yeah. Not that that's what happened here by any means, but it's everything that you do in the finale counts. Everything. This isn't a 2-take kind of situation. So if you come out and you fall, that's all we got. You fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's an interesting thought, because like I said in deliberation, part of me felt like, well, Abora really bends the rules and brings something different. Like when I was rewatching all the finale floor shows, I was like, every single thing is conceptually outside of the bounds of the stage that we present things on, which I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I struggled with it, I think.
Yeah. I think some of those risks were being taken throughout the season, certainly like the 900-foot tree, which paid off in spades. And then the Superman Bizarro thing, the originality aside, what a trick. Like what an illusion. And I know for a minute, people were like, like when she came off the ground, it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Because it really did look like there was flight happening on the stage, which is super impressive.
Anything else you want to add about the finale that you don't feel like you said on the show?
No, I don't think so. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to keep it in the positive. Love and light, bitch. I mean, I think Eva was flawless. I think Abora shot really high, still a very impressive artist. And I also think Jaharia and JK, I don't think they had their best days when it came to the finale floor shows, but what amazing seasons for both of them. I think that they rewrote their stories as well.
For sure.
And showed everyone probably who thought they weren't even capable of these things, how they delivered over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it was a great season. Like I said, very proud of it. I think it was the best season of Dragula to date.
Yep. And like you said earlier, the ghost train doesn't stop though. So we're saying goodbye to Titans and we're going to say hello to our Holiday of Horror special next week. And we got some answers from our question, our query that we put out there into the ethers last week, because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is now airing. And we were like, would people care to hear our take on these things?
Apparently they do want to hear it, but I really got to think about that. I want to say before we, yeah, I know. Like we're basically going to move on to listener questions next, and I think there was a lot of questions about the finale, so I feel like we can kind of recap the finale by answering these questions.
Sure.
But as far as Beverly Hills, I'm going to just slide this in there real quick. First episode came out. Not thrilled. I was not thrilled by it. It's always okay to expect the least out of Beverly Hills for some reason because it's still enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. But when you compare what they bring, what those cast members bring to the show versus Salt Lake City and other franchises,
oh no, it's a completely different ballgame.
I mean, they'll take the littlest stupid argument and they'll talk about that until the finale.
Yeah, I wonder how many times we're going to hear Hot Girl Summer and for how long.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like some producer was like, that's it. That's what we're going to theme the whole season around. And you can tell I haven't seen any sort of previews or anything that look super juicy or anything. So I'm a little concerned.
Well, this is not that surprising because normally when the first episode comes out, you're kind of on board and I'm kind of like, oh, Beverly Hills is kind of like whatever it is. I think it's an excuse to just almost be extravagant with what people love about the Real Housewives in general. It's the lifestyle, it's the privilege, it's all of this, the beauty, and everything's gorgeous and everything's like really expensive, and it's a life that none of us lead or could lead. And I think that's what's enticing about it. But this season, this premiere, I was like, oh, I think this season has potential, mostly because I'm absolutely obsessed with Dorit 2.0. Like she showed her new face last season, and I think we're going to continue to see that and hopefully even more this season, and I will be so happy if we do.
See, I needed Kyle to come out in a cutoff t-shirt with a cigarette and a buzz cut and be like, I'm a lesbian. and then be like, Dorit, don't fuck with me this season. Right? And then I'd be like, okay, I'm in. Like now there's something has happened.
Yeah.
You know? Like something dramatic needs to happen. It's like something like, something's going on with her and Garcelle and Avi, and like she won't talk about it. I'm like, oh, here we go. You're gonna avoid this all season, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Very annoying. What did you think about Rachel Zoe? I had forgotten that she was on Bravo, that she was part of the Bravo family already.
Not into it.
I'm not sure. I'm coming up with a question mark. I don't know. Undecided. To be determined. She did ask a lot of pointed questions at that little luncheon that they set up, and I thought her comments would be like, whoa, like people were going to get big reactions talking about like, oh, someone tried to set me up with Mauricio, or you should just go out 3 times a week. Your husband isn't do this, do that, like to Dorit. And I was like, oh, Dorit's gonna slap. And she was like, I think Dorit was like, oh, this is a real bitch. This is a girl who's telling me exactly what's on her mind and not pulling punches, and I like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I feel like we need so rich that you're delusional level of person, and they need to be like, I don't know how to say this in the right.
Be Kathy Hilton.
I don't know how to. No, not like Kathy Hilton even, because she's just putting on an act the whole time. It's like a character at this point. She's like playing a role. But I mean like Dorinda. She's like kind of delusional but kind of amazing, and she doesn't really care. Those people make the best housewives. Nene back in the day when she first came on, she didn't care either.
Yeah.
You know, some of the people from Jersey similarly, like I feel like they need someone more like that. Like Rachel Zoe's almost like she's almost like too hot or something, you know? Like she's too together. Like I need some like I don't know, sloppy bonanza mom who's like super rich in Beverly Hills and tacky and like, you know what I mean? Like that, those are the people that work.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's reset. That was our little mini Housewives recap. But now we're going to get back to our show, the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titan Season 2. Swan, hit it.
Okay. Misha from Biloxi, Mississippi writes, I just watched the finale and I have to agree that this was the best season yet. My question is this. Did the final four get to watch other floor shows or were the floor shows on a set closed to the other contestants?
Closed. They typically don't get to watch each other. I think for me, that's just trying to give them some respect because I feel like if everyone competing with you is standing there watching you,
yeah.
You know.
That's like sound checking with a room full of people or like
so
dress rehearsals whether there's an audience is like not my favorite thing either. And not to mention, this is like a marathon of drag. Like the calendar, I mean, the day is so stacked minute to minute. So while Jaharia was on, all three of them the rest of them were probably in various stages of being ready for their turn. Mm-hmm. So that no one's standing around in their outfit watching somebody else.
Yeah. Dan from New York asks, Swan and Drac, fantastic season of Titans. You outdid yourself with challenges, but was hoping to get a GHFH challenge. A Granny Hags from Hell challenge. Will we ever get this in the future? Simply put, yes.
Yes, probably. I mean, let's not forget we did the
yeah. Yes, definitely, you meant to say. Anyways, next question.
Woo! Pup Gunny from Oklahoma City writes, I remember Drac saying she does not like getting recognized in public when you're out of drag. Have y'all been recognized in a way where the person recognized you but let you know in a discreet way? For example, a waiter or waitress at a restaurant recognizes you but doesn't say anything but left a note on the receipt letting you know that they were a big fan. This is a yes. And actually, that exact scenario almost played itself out on the last tour. I think it
totally did. I don't remember
it wasn't
where
a
we
note.
were.
It wasn't a note, though.
No.
It was a delicious barbecue appetizer. The waiter brought this plate over and it was like smothered fries with like barbecue. You know, we love meat and we love barbecue. So I was like, that's not ours, but damn, it looks good. And he was like, oh, this is from the host. They sent this over to you. They love your show. And I was like, I didn't know how to feel about it. Like a chill goes down my spine when that stuff happens.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of, look, there's a part of you that you just, you can relate to someone and say, hey, they really like us or they like the show and they feel connected to us. They want to express that. And I really appreciate that. But I think from the other side of it, there's almost a little invasion of privacy and danger, right? Because you're not ready for that. You're like, I'm in disguise. I'm just out having a meal like a normal person. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
That's what it does to me anyways.
No, it makes me feel weird too. I haven't overcome that yet. I haven't gotten to that stage of just being like, we've worked pretty hard to keep our lives separate. There's our characters and then there's us. And when people recognize and those two worlds collide, I don't know how to feel in the moment.
Well, I think you do more than me because I can. People have come up to us in very weird ways that have just been really uncomfortable. I mean, literally, someone came up to me in a bathroom. I'm not even. It's just crazy, and then got mad because I was. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just move on.
Moving on. Oh, I'm glad you got this one. It's a really long.
Oh, is that me? Okay. Jay from Tennessee asks, I am an occasional purveyor of the Reddit. Ugh. And something regarding the finale piqued my interest. I think in the beginning of Dragula, we saw a lot of the ghouls hand-making their stuff from top to bottom in the laboratory. But as the show is growing, a lot of fans are worried that it's coming down to who has the most money to spend on great costumes. Is that something that you as host producers have a concern with, or do you think that it's just the natural progression that hand-making items will eventually be obsolete, blah, blah, blah? No, I don't think any of that, because in fact, we absolutely encourage people when they're cast to bring materials that they're comfortable with and that are non-traditional so that they can make things that are that's what we want. That's what we like.
Well, we also tell them to bring a ton of various materials because we throw curveballs in throughout the season, and it's like, okay, you thought it was this, but it's actually this. Now change it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we take those kind of like economic imbalances into consideration.
Yeah, we do.
If someone is able to, or God, it comes to mind. Like, this is an artist who uses maybe some of the most inexpensive materials and repeatedly uses the same materials in transformative, incredible, like kind of mind-bending ways. And they might get a little boost in the judgment, at least from me, knowing
you get
that
rewarded.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, you get rewarded. If we feel like you really made, like for me especially, if I feel like you made something from nothing, that impresses me like nothing else. So no, I'm not worried about that. I don't think that's an issue for the show, to be completely honest with you. I don't think it's any different now than it was on season 2. That's the truth. Or even season 1, to be honest with you.
But I want to read the end of Jay from Tennessee's comment, because you were like, blah, blah, blah. I love these recaps so much, but I can't wait to get back to the movie reviews. My junior mint side has been starving, which is
me
cute.
too, Jay.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to the movie.
We're going to
soon.
get there. Tim from Seattle writes, I love the massive showcase of looks that ended this fantastic season of Titans. I noticed that the edits for several of the looks included very few shots of Abora. How much footage were you able to get after her numerous technical mishaps? Did she have to leave the stage after getting injured? This is kind of a sharp question from a viewer. I'm going to let you
answer it, and you should.
Yeah, particularly the one, I think it was Death, the one with the big horse. I mean, I was so excited when this started because, look at it. It was so shocking. It was huge and really ambitious. And in about 15 seconds, it was over because we wanted to get that rearing up effect where the horse was up on its hind legs and the front legs were kicking, which we did get. But like a lot of the harnesses and stuff just kind of malfunctioned to the point where they could not be put back together. And I literally had the thought that Tim is asking, like, holy shit, how are we going to stitch together a floor show from this little amount of footage?
I was worried too, because I was like, it happened with several of them, and then it would just be like, it's over. And we're like, what do you mean it's over? Like, we don't have anything to put this edit together with.
It was scary.
Yeah. Bryson from San Diego asks, Abora has always been a large inspiration of mine, and I was struck by a comment you made in the episode. Sometimes her concepts are a bit too much and a bit too big. What do you think she could have done to tone down her ideas while keeping her message and securing that crown? I don't think she should have toned down her ideas. That's not, I don't want that. I like that she thinks outside the box. I just want her to execute her ideas. It's that simple. What do you think?
I feel a little differently because I think the ideas are incredible. I think most of Abora's ideas are really inspired. I would have said, instead of trying to use suspension and wires and air machines and all these different things across 3 or 4, all the looks, focus and make 1 or 2 stand out in that way. And in the other 2, do the version that 100% you can deliver in the best possible Abora way. You will not miss, and then you're gambling only 50% of those big risk moves.
I just think that he should have just done everything himself like he did for the season, because it worked out very well that way. And I think he didn't need any outside help. That's what I'll say.
Loves to be ominous. Capri asks, out of your own looks from Titans Season 2, which is your favorite and why? Ray Edmonton, Alberta. Oh, this is Jesus Christ.
Do you want to ask
Drac had those 2 questions crammed together, and I'm leaving that in. Capri asks, question, out of your own looks from the Titans Season 2, which is your favorite and why?
I can't even remember what I wore. I don't even know.
I know it's actually kind of like that for me too. I do want to say this. I actually loved our hosting look, like that crimson kind of like ox blood dress with the kind of bat wings.
For when it stayed up, I loved it too.
No, it looked fantastic. And probably my favorite moment is when during the Supervillains Challenge, when we were in our kind of secretarial, and then we did our Diana Prince spin into our hosting looks. Like that was, Every time I see that, every single time I giggle.
Me
like
too.
I really love it.
I love it too. Is there a look that you really liked?
I kind of thought this finale look was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I like that the superhero one was fun. I don't know. I think we were pretty successful in our looks this season. They don't always get the most attention because we're so busy making the show, which I think is so dumb. I got to change that for next season.
It's tough, yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to make my shit a priority, and then I'll get to you guys and film your floor shows. But nothing stood out to me. I just think overall we looked pretty good this season. I was happy with it. I like the hair too. We wore a lot more down hair, which I thought was a little more youthful, a little more true to form.
Exactly. Our Transylvanian armor with the big Frankenstein updo, like that was so fun.
Loved it.
I mean, when I saw it on screen, I was like, because sometimes I'm like, do I really want to wear this gigantic 2-foot fucking bozo wig? And I'm like, sometimes it's yes and sometimes it's no. But when I saw it, I was like, this is great. I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah,
it's so
it didn't look like
stupid
that.
and
Like,
cool.
I think it's burned into our brain from drag history that we see a wig like that. And we're like, it's giving like misunderstood clown bozo show. Yeah. Ray from Edmonton, Alberta asks, my question, have both of you ever ventured out of the big two publishers, DC and Marvel, for horror or thriller comics? I definitely have. Not as often as you might think, considering we like so much subculture, alternative subculture. But Harrow County is one of my favorite horror books, and that is not from DC or Marvel.
Yeah, which I've read kind of half of it too, and it's really good. Kristen from Dallas writes, my question is, what was your reaction to Abora's big ideas for the finale? I'm imagining Abora came to you with questions beforehand like, can I swing from the rafters? Or can I bring someone to be the ass of my horse? Were you both like, what? No, we were both like, yes. Like we told all of them too, like, use us as a resource. What kind of vision do you want to bring to life? And if we can help you, we will.
Yeah, we're like, do you want fire? Do you want rigging? What do you want? The stage is your oyster. You just tell us what you want. Oddly, they didn't ask for much.
I think Abora played that hand and took it as far as she could, which I think was great because I don't know that the other three thought like, oh, I could ask for rigging or stuff on that level. But when Abora asked, we said yes.
This specifically, can I bring someone to be the ass of my horse? There was a request. And you know what? This person is right. That person would have really been the ass of Abora's horse. And I think ultimately they were.
Damn.
Josh from Chicago asks, on the Last Supper episode of the pod, Swan expressed interest in competing on Traitors. As a huge fan of both Traitors and Dragula, this crossover would rock my world. Swan, if you are asked to compete on the Traitors, what are your thoughts on being filmed out of drag, or would you be in face and in character the whole time?
I have no thoughts about showing my face out of drag because we're not there yet. My first thought is like, damn, how am I going to do drag daily while we're filming this thing? But that's what it would be. I would be in face, in character, in some cunty heels and little bitchy wigs, like ready to either like play all of these fools out because I'm a traitor or suss out who's rotten and who needs to go.
Listen, I said on a previous episode that I don't think I would be good at it and I think you would win. But make no mistake, I would be entertaining to watch. I would be a disaster and it would be awesome. I'd be anxiety, drama. I'd get in fights with people. It would be a mess and it'd be great to watch. So the two of us would be doing it together. Thank you.
Oh, she's changing her stance now.
I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I just said I wouldn't be good at it. There's a difference.
No, I thought the question literally was like, would you want to be on a reality TV show?
Oh, I wouldn't do. Yeah, I know. You know what?
It is a competition reality.
If the right network offered us the right amount of money, I'm serious. I would open up the doors of Boulet Manor and be like, see it all. because I think it would blow people's minds and it would not be what they expect. And
Well, oftentimes we've talked about like the show is actually let's make a show about making Dragula.
Yeah.
And I think it used to be crazier, like maybe 2 years ago, it was even way crazier and more intense. Like the shit that we would have to, the things that we would have to figure out and go do. It was wild. And I think it would have been a really entertaining show.
Yeah. I mean, still think it would be.
It still would be.
The characters behind the scenes are almost more interesting than the people on screen sometimes. Certainly was last year anyways. All right.
Michelle from Orlando writes, will we see more themes that are different in the final floor shows that are not filth, horror, and glamour? I loved watching the Four Horsemen theme for the finale as a change of pace. Also, congrats on a fantastic season. I can tell you all worked very hard on it and you should be proud of yourselves. Much love and enjoy the holidays. Well, that's really sweet.
That's the kind of message I like to get.
Thank you. Thank you. We really did pour ourselves into this. And I had a talk with Eva very recently and she, reflected on the whole experience and was really like one of the things she said that I kind of walked away with feeling like, wow, that makes me feel really happy is how involved we are. And that she often gets asked like, how often, how involved are the Boulets in the process? And our hands are all over this show. We're involved in, maybe too much, like almost every aspect and we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I think in Eva's words, and I think that's why this season is so great because you guys were so close to it. And that just made me feel really good.
Oh, that's cool. And I want to apologize. Michael Swan didn't mean to call you Michelle.
Or did I? Think about that, Miss Thing. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. We have returned and it's on with the show.
Kim asks, did you regret the top 4 after seeing the finale floor
so
show?
Rude.
Did you regret the top 4 after seeing the finale floor show?
I'm going to say no. That's very rude. What I did rethink, though, was how much I would have loved to see Cynthia also in the finale.
Yeah.
I was curious what we would have gotten from a Cynthia doll for Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't say like, no, I don't regret it. I of course I'm curious as to what some of the other competitors would have done for finale floor shows. Maybe if we had sent them home, we wouldn't have been that impressed anyways.
Finn from New Zealand. I just finished watching the Titans 2 final floor show and noticed that the monsters' order of appearance for each of the 4 horsemen was different. I wanted to ask what determines the running order for a floor show. Is it determined by what content cuts best to the music for storytelling, or is it completely random? It's probably a different combination for each moment.
I think it is mostly determined by matching the music with the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you look at the cut, you're like, oh, that person moved like this. They would fit really well. And that's not something we decide. We don't see it until way, way later. So a mysterious editor
makes those pictures appear on our computer, and then we decide. Yeah, but
and we rip it apart. No, that's terrible.
I noticed that at the viewing last night, because we have a viewing party here at Boulet Manor, and someone keyed in. They're like, "Oh, Eva's different order. Eva's not first." Did you catch that?
What I did catch when we were watching the cuts, I was like, why is Eva like the first one in all these cuts?
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. I like to mix it up.
Yeah,
I don't know why
too.
he did that, but it was so late in the game. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Migoy from the Philippines writes, I totally respect your decision in the finale, but could you walk us through what matters most in your judging there? How you weigh ambition and inventiveness like Abora's high-risk concepts and stunts against polish, safety, and clean execution, and what the ideal balance between bold ideas and flawless delivery looks like to you? Love this question.
I think a little fumbling isn't going to cost someone the finale. I think big fumbles definitely could, especially if there were multiples.
Yeah.
I love innovation. I love thinking outside the box, but it almost, if you think really far outside of the box and then you fumble that, it almost draws more attention to it.
Yeah. I can see that. You can't really fuck with perfect delivery. You just can't. And if the makeup is there and the garment is there and the performance is there, it's kind of difficult to weigh risky, high concept approaches to the challenge that don't reach the same level of execution. Like, you have to deliver the dream. You have to deliver the dream for the dreamers and the people that are watching the show. And if you don't, it's kind of like a glaring misstep in what is not only the finale, it is the finale of an all-star.
Yeah.
You've got to hit the mark.
What about like the lack of, let's say hypothetically, the lack of a wow factor, right? So like, let's say someone does a finale, they do it perfectly, but you're not blown away, or, you're not like, okay, you were like, you did all of these very well, but nothing groundbreaking. How does that?
Well, I think it really comes down to what are you comparing it with, right? Because if there was someone, let's say it's Eva and Abora in this conversation, and Eva is the one, I'm like, oh, it's all delivered, but I'm not wowed. Abora's like, oh, she had like 4 like through the roof concepts. 2 of them landed, 3 of them landed, 1 of them fucked up. Either one could win. Yeah. Like, either one has a valid chance at winning. So
it's kind of case by case basis, I would think. And similar to a question someone asked earlier about materials, right? Like in Orgotic's case, I would give Orgotic more room on something that I might someone else who I don't think made the majority of their stuff.
Yeah. We also do not want to turn this game into like a fashion show designer. Like, it isn't even the artist, it's some designer that made it or whatever. We don't want it to be that.
No, I actually really hate that. I consider it we've talked about so many different concepts. Like, here's a budget. Everybody gets the same budget. It's just, there's a lot of complications to it that just don't work, but I do want to do something with it in the future. I don't know what or how to put parameters on it, but I want to do something. Noah from Minnesota asks, as my partner and I wait for the delayed finale to come out.
Ooh. Ouch. Clever. I see what you did there.
I was wondering what all goes into releasing an episode at a certain time. Do you watch the live episode on a streaming service too, or your own download so you don't have to deal with a delay?
I want to interject here for a hot second. We see the finished episode probably at least 5 times before it even gets submitted. Well, no, finished, compiled, like all together. Like, we see it in pieces like 100 times, but all together, we probably see it at least 4 or 5 times before we submit it. And there's actually kind of a huge process that we are not involved with before you actually see it on your TV screen, which includes like quality control and sound and color and balancing and all of these things. And then it's submitted because it's a final package. And then it's in the hands of the network to basically, proverbially hit play at the right time. Like, we're not involved in that process at all. When Dragula was ever late, it wasn't the Boulet's fault.
We have never owned a network or operated a network. That's not how shows work. Shows get a production company to make them a show and give them the show. And that's what we do. And honestly, you'd think there's some kind of special place I could call if it doesn't come out. There's not. So when people are adding me in the middle of the night that the episode's not out, you're yelling at the wrong person. Like, you need to at the network, because I have no control over that at all. And I will say, I was happy that all the episodes came out on time, as one would expect.
Except for one.
But that's right. There's always a nice little chin check, a little like pep up at the end.
It wasn't bad.
Every season.
This season was not bad.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. But there's always something, right? There was all that Dolly shit on season 4, that whole nightmare. There's always something.
I still have PTSD from that.
I know. LJ from Milwaukee. Why does it sound like that? LJ from Milwaukee asks, Dearest Drac and Swan, with the fantastic success of Titan Season 2 and your what will soon to be fabulous Holiday of Horrors premiere, were you two able to see the sequel Wicked for Good? And follow up, Drac, how much has Swan been quoting and singing the soundtrack?
Gonna be surprised about this one.
So we did see it. And I have not heard one word about it from Swan after that one watch. No request to go back and see it a second time. In fact, I offered once and got a resounding no. Haven't heard a peep about it. I think you hate it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I still love the first one. In fact, what I did was come home and listen to the soundtrack of Wicked, the first one, just to kind of palate cleanse, because I thought that they tried to cover too much too fast. The storytelling was kind of disconnected. And I think that there were key moments like Fiyero being the Scarecrow and kind of being with Dorothy that we actually never got to see, and his story was convoluted. And I thought a lot of that was just glazed over. Like, we have to tell the story like really fast, and the songs weren't as memorable. It just wasn't as powerful.
Do you think it should have just been one long movie?
I don't know. And I know some theaters had viewings like that where you could do 5 hours of Wicked.
Oh, I don't think
they
should.
Holy shit.
Should they just have made 1 3-hour movie?
No, I don't think so. I think they should have slowed down and rethought what they did for Wicked for Good and made it just as good as the first one, because it was not.
Traditionally, the second half of the play, from what I hear, and I've seen it, but I don't remember it, is not as good as the first half.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same songs and everything. It's not as charming.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know it like that. Like, and I saw it with you, but that was years ago. I don't remember the story. I'm really bothered by the storytelling. Like, by The Wizard of Oz, everybody knows that story inside and out. And if you're a gay person, then there's another layer of like being connected to the rainbow and Friends of Dorothy and just like,
what is that? I've never understood that. I always saw that stuff like Friends of Dorothy. I thought it was like an AA thing, like alcoholics or something. What? No. I don't get it.
It means you gay.
But why?
I don't know exactly where it came from. Maybe somewhere over the rainbow, and the rainbow being the symbol of, the gay community. I don't know. Maybe I should.
That's some kind of gay that I'm not, like some kind of Liza with the Z.
Yeah.
Fire What's Island, that place? Yeah, like, Fire Island bullshit. T-Town. I'm like, oh my God.
T-Dance and P-Town.
Kill me. That would be my hell. If I died and I appeared in Provincetown, that would be my hell.
There are worse places to call hell than
I don't
P-Town.
know. I would hate that with all those bitchy bears. Oh, I would go crazy.
Holy shit. No, I think everybody knows the story so well that it was so cool. So many cool moments when we saw in Wicked how they paralleled what we thought we knew and then what is happening from the perspective of the witch. And I think that's the real trick and the real magic of Wicked as a story. But when you glaze over how the Tin Man was formed and where the Scarecrow came from, and just there were other things too. I'm like, they just, my head was spinning. They told it all so fast. I don't think we ever got a breather to kind of appreciate that magic that really is there. But we just didn't see it.
Yeah, I have a problem with it fundamentally, which is let people be bad. Some people can be bad, like this, it seemed like they just so did not want Elphaba to be even slightly mad or negative or react strongly to anything. Even they said purposely, because I looked it up, I was like, why does she not react larger when she sees her sister's dead? And they're like, they didn't want her to seem angry. And I'm like, why? Because you want her to walk around Disneyland and take pictures with little kids next week? And you know what I mean? It's like a property now. It's an IP. And I'm like, the Wicked Witch is evil.
I mean, that's what Disney did with Maleficent too. I'm like, I don't want Maleficent to be a fucking anti-hero or some kind of misunderstood villain. I want them to be a wicked villain, like Megan. I want Megan to be a psycho killer. I don't want her to be good.
Yeah, and I get that in reality, most people are shades of gray, right? But that's the Munchkins. The Munchkins are shades of gray. But the evil witch is evil, right? And Glinda is good because she called Glinda the fucking good. So like some people can be good and bad in your life. I feel like they teaches kids now. They're like, you get kidnapped and you go back to some Chainsaw Massacre guy's house and you're like, well, maybe let's hear from your perspective as your head gets chopped off. I'm like, no, some people are fucking bad. And the Wicked Witch should be bad. Wow, you can tell I'm fried this season. I am done. And on that note, I think we're going to let everybody go. So listen, this might be the end of the season of Dragula, but it's probably not the end of the podcast. We will be back here next week to talk about the Boulet Brothers Holiday of Horrors. holidays. Wait, what do I say? I don't even know what I'm talking about here. We will be back here next week at this time to discuss the Boulet Brothers Holiday of Horrors Christmas special and perhaps some Housewives. We'll see. But I do want to get back to reviewing some movies, some comics, and some content. And
Oh, and for those of you that did watch the finale already, right at the end, there was like an announcement about you can go to BouletBrothersDragula.com to get the link to get like signed up for the early release of tour tickets. Now, I'm always excited about the tour, but I think this show is going to be stellar. I'm very excited. So you can get tickets at DragulaLive.com. You can also go to our website, BouletBrothersDragula.com. There are links there. There's merch there. Get it all while you can, and we will be on the road in like 4 or 5 months, which is wild.
I have to say, I'm not normally excited about the tour. I have to ramp up to it. You know that. In fact, every night I have to ramp up to going out on stage, and you know that too. But yes. I actually think this tour is going to be incredible. Mm-hmm. I just have a feeling it's going to be so good. I feel like everyone's going to bring their best, and I feel very inspired to bring something really spectacular this time.
Yeah, this crew is going to be really fun too. I think that there's going to be like a lot of laughs behind the scenes too, which is going to just make being on stage great.
In tears. Eva's there.
Yeah, we'll laugh, we'll cry. We'll pray to our gods because after this tour, it's the end of the world.
And we'll try to sneak Cynthia on the bus. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
The Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night is hosted and produced by Mortem and Swantula Boulet, with music by Neuron Spector.